good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tuesday Talk series here in Windsor, Ontario. The no bullshit, no holds bar, ask anything you want and get the answers right live, right here on every other Tuesday on the private Facebook group where we bring real estate investors, experts, and pick their brain on what they're doing and how they're so successful. Today, we are honored to have, in my opinion, three of the best real estate investor-friendly realtors in Windsor. Guys, let me introduce you to Aditya Suma, Jeremy McGraw, and Adil Sold Albert. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, if you are listening to this and watching this live on our Facebook group, you know what to do. Questions and answers, guys. Go to the chat room and ask your questions live because we got three experts here. If you want to know anything about investing in Windsor, the markets, that's what we're going to be focusing on today, the sub-markets, then ask your questions live, right? If you don't understand why you're not getting that rental property and the rents that you want to get for it, you may be in the wrong neighborhood. This is the place you're going to find out why, okay? If you want to raise the rents and you want to ask how much you can go up, right? This is the place to ask because we got these three experts over here. These guys are top performers in their brokerages, okay? You don't need a power team. The power team is sitting right here. Okay, today is also a very special episode because me, myself, and I am actually not in Windsor. I am in Detroit. As most of you guys know, I invest in Detroit. I fix and flip in Detroit. So here I am in my Airbnb. Not that Detroit is special, but I want to bring something to your attention. So I am in a Airbnb that I'm renting out over here. It's an apartment. It's a two-bedroom apartment. And look at this. Just a little quick peek here. There's a TV screen. Look at that. That's a printer. Okay.
Wow.
Dude, before I got to Detroit, in my Amazon cart was a printer because I said I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. I got to work. I got to do my thing. I need to buy a printer, and then I'm going to take it back home with me. But I got here, and look, there's a printer right there. So if you are an Airbnb host, that's a tip for you right there. Put a printer in your house. You don't know the value of that. That makes a big, big difference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this person a massive, beautiful comment at the end of my stay over here. Okay. And one more thing. So right out to the door over here, I can walk over to one of the biggest hospitals in Detroit. It's called the Beaumont Hospital. It's huge. It's a massive hospital, right? I'm in Royal Oak. This Airbnb, I'm paying $100 US a night, $100 US a night. I think if you go up to a month, she drops it down to like $80 a month or whatever. But think about it, guys. You know, she's making $2,500 US a month if somebody stays that long. And I can tell you it is booked because you got the hospital right across the door, right? You have Canadian nurses and doctors who come for the day, and sometimes they got to work 48-hour shifts. Where do you think they're going to go back home? The border is about 45 minutes from over here, right? To cross back. They're booking this hotel or this Airbnb and they're staying comfortably. She's making a ton load of money. So if you're into Airbnb, there's some little tips and tricks for you. All right. All right. Now back to the show. What is going on, guys? So good to have you again.
Good to have you here. Beautiful, crazy market in Windsor.
Yep. I want to get into that real deep. You know, as you know, we bring in everybody. I mean, you realtors out here every month just to give us the updates. So we're going to be talking about September numbers. Of course, those are crazy. But before we get into that, each one of you, I would like to ask, can you give me a top line, like what is your opinion of the Windsor market today? And we'll take about where it's going to go later. But, you know, what's happening in Windsor right now? Just top of mind.
Still pretty hot.
It's fall. What do you mean it's hot? Come on, man. Summer's over.
Crazy, man. No idea what's going on. No idea. Absolutely. Never seen this before. So much demand. So much.
If you guys don't have any idea, then we are talking to the wrong people. Come on, give me some inside information. What is going on? Like your buyers, the buyers who are you know, you dealing with, are they out of towners? Are they investors?
Yeah.
You know, what's the story there?
So here's the thing. One thing I hear from buyers, oh, there is a lot of bidding wars. I cannot find a property to buy. But that's totally wrong. I disagree with that 100% because, you know, me and my team, we are still helping a lot of investors. We got a duplex on Jefferson, East Windsor for $240,000.
Nice.
It's still properties are there. Still deals are available. You got to find them.
Was that on market, Aditya? Was that
on the market? On the market.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
I can go on and on. A lot of people, like we got at least 10 properties in last 1 month for different buyers, different investors, but half of them are investors who are like looking for
Okay.
cash flow properties, and
Okay.
we found them.
And that's what I'm asking.
So
So half is investors. Are these guys from out of town in your case, or are they
yeah,
local?
in my case, majority of them are investors from Toronto, Vancouver.
Okay. Adil, how about you?
Oh, same thing. A lot of demand, a lot of buyers in the market. Not enough inventory, not enough homes, especially for single residential, single family homes are very, very high in demand in South Windsor, LaSalle. Anything between 400 to 500 is almost overbidding right now because a lot of
Why?
demand, a lot of bidding.
You're saying that there's not enough homes, right? There's not enough stock in the market. Why, in your opinion, why do you feel like what's the reason behind that?
I believe that it's a lot of people from out of town or other places just specifically focusing on Windsor. Either they want to move here or just invest in making investments in that areas. So a lot of people still in Windsor because for them to to sell this property and move somewhere else, it's too fast, it's too quick for them to make that kind of decisions. So a lot of people still looking for about whether to buy a new home, a bigger home, or new builds. Just demand's not catching up the opportunity right now. I
Okay.
think the people
Okay.
still waiting for the perfect moment, but this is it. There's no any perfect opportunity today right now in this market right now. It's insane.
Okay. Good.
Right?
Good. Jeremy, any other comments on that? Can you add something of your own?
So, yeah, I mean, I have a team as well. My business partner there, Christina Barlow, deals with a lot of like luxury. She deals with a lot of first-time home buyers. So we basically have a lot of both investors as well as we can see what's also going on in the other markets. And from what I'm hearing, especially dealing with I'm helping my parents buy a townhouse right now. We're finding that they were thinking about maybe going the route because they were getting fed up of going to resale because things, for example, they competed on a townhouse in Tecumseh 2 days ago. His list price was $599, sold for $730,000. So $130,000 over ask for a resale townhouse.
Not surprising. Not surprising.
$730,000 for a townhouse in the Windsor area, Tecumseh, which is a really nice neighborhood for sure. But to give you an idea, so my parents were frustrated and they said, well, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna build. So I got on the phone, started calling a few builders. And because with the COVID right now, and because of the shortage of wood, the shortage of materials right now, builders are backed up almost to the end of next year. So what we're finding is that a lot of the people that were saying, oh, I'm fed up and I'm just gonna build, they can't build anymore because it's almost a year away now. So those people that are doing they're back in the market. So what we're going to see is a more pent up demand, not just for expensive homes. We're going to see that in general. And basically, so there's going to be a bigger market now for resale houses because the new home builds, they can be upwards of, they're no longer 3 months away. They could be maybe 6 months if you're lucky, but they could be upwards of 9 months to 12 months away for a new build right now, which is crazy.
I'm glad you mentioned the price of materials going up because I know as I'm in construction, of course. That's definitely a big issue, right? Definitely a big issue. And one of the reasons for that, and I think this goes back to again why is the prices going so much higher, is that a lot of people, because of COVID, who are not going to work anymore, like physically going to work, they're staying in their homes. They realize that listen, their homes are not built to actually work. They don't have these home offices, right? Or it's right and bang in the summer. The backyard is not a really great place to chill out anymore, right? So they are spending a lot of money, and statistics have shown this. They're spending a lot of money in updating their homes, right? So just a normal home owner who never did any kind of construction in probably 10, 15 years in their home, they are going out and now updating their homes. And that's having effect of two things. One is that basically, obviously, we have a shortage of materials. Prices of materials are going higher. But at the same time, these guys are now making their homes much better to live in and work from that they don't really need to sell, right? So because of COVID, they're thinking to themselves, okay, I can make my space that I'm in a little bit better, and then I don't have to go and sell because what I'm going to buy after. So I love it. I think it's a perfect storm in the sense of, we have COVID, we have people working from home, we have a lot of immigration coming into Windsor from the surrounding GTA area, right? An overflow of that. And obviously that all leads to a shortage of stock in the market. Prices are going high and continuing to go high. Okay, cool, guys. All right, I love it. I'm just looking at the questions over here. I set it up so I can see this. We got a lot of people watching. Great. Guys, if you're watching on live and you have a question, drop it in there. If you have a comment too, drop it in the comment box so we can take your answers, or we can get you to, we can get the responses to you as fast as possible, okay? Aditya says, if you love Sam's energy, hit that thumbs up. Oh, here we go. Thumbs up. Thanks. Thanks, Aditya. We have Jordan, who asked, what property management companies would you recommend? Great question, Jordan. Come back October 20th. We're going to have a panel just like this of property managers. We're going to be talking about property management in Windsor on the Tuesday Talk Series, October 20th. You're going to hear about that soon, okay? We got a lot of people watching live. All right. Great insights. Cool. Okay, guys, if you got any questions, as I said, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's take a top of line, what's happening in Windsor and prices. So now we're going to be talking about the September numbers, and we're going to be diving, I should say, into the sub-markets of Windsor, okay? So let's start with Aditya. Give us what's the top line, Aditya. Hold on, let me try.
Yeah, if you don't mind, please open the slides.
Get this presentation up here. Oh, that's not it. That's not it either. Let me try that again. Oh, geez. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. I had the presentation open and I closed it. Okay.
Come on, Sav. You got to get good at technology.
I know. I got to get a team like you guys. You guys have big teams, man. I need to get one of those to make this work.
Everyone is work in progress.
You know it. Okay, here we go. Can you see this on my screen?
Nope, not it. I can still see your big face in the camera.
You're lucky. That's pretty, man. Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay.
Here you
Does
go.
that work? And let me put this somewhere else. Okay, take it away, Aditya. What are we looking at?
Perfect. So, yeah. So first, I'm gonna just quickly go overview of the whole Windsor. If someone is new for Windsor, who don't know much about Windsor, why Windsor is a beautiful city, apart from the view from Detroit, why people moving into Windsor, from all these bigger towns. So a few reasons that I feel, just my opinion. Windsor is still affordable prices. It could be for investors. It could be for, first-time home buyers. Still, average price homes in Windsor is 433,000, which is low comparative to a lot of other markets. And also a big reason that we are just 1.6 kilometers from major city, which is Detroit, which is like literally, if you're living in Mississauga, if you want to go to downtown Toronto, it's way too far. But here we have like Detroit downtown, 1.6 kilometers from away. And of course, we do have one of the beautiful weather comparative to other parts of Ontario. And another thing, my favorite one is like you can literally drive anywhere in Windsor, most of the places in 15 minutes. That means you save a lot of time in travel, which you can spend that time in doing some productive work. So that's another favorite one. And of course, University and St. Clair College are actually bringing in a lot of international students. Of course, some people might argue, during this COVID time, yeah, this is an exception. But generally speaking, from last few years, they've been bringing a lot of students, which is actually a solid reason why, that the local businesses grow. Because a lot of people moving in, they're going to need food, they need shelter, they need, clothing and all this stuff. And those who don't know, there's a big project construction going on, new project, because of the demand that cross-border transportation happens. Now they're building a new bridge just off of 401. So that construction started a year ago, I believe, and it's going on. Probably it's going to go for another few years. So just a few highlights of Windsor. And in terms of numbers, if you look at the number of listings year to date, on 2020, we have at least 8% increase, which means we have a little bit higher inventory comparative to last year. And if you look at the sales went up like drastically comparative to last year. That means the inventory is not staying. So last year it was like the sales into 2019 at this time was 5, but now it's like 738, 32% increase. And if you look at the biggest thing is like average sale price, last year it was like 331 and now it's like 433, which is like 30% increase. So if you would have bought a property a year ago, that means you already made your money out and you made an extra 50% if you're putting 20% down. So if you purchase a house for 20% down, your property already appreciated 30%. So you made 150% returns on your money. So that's crazy when you look at
here's my shameless plug. So I think all these numbers that you're seeing with the 32% increase in sales and the 30% increase in prices, it's all because of the Windsor City Investors Club. Because we're talking too much about Windsor, right? We're bringing Windsor out to everywhere, and everyone is now flocking in the last couple of years.
There you go. Kudos to Savio. Kudos for everyone, all of us. Realtors and everyone. Bringing in. My YouTube channel is also bringing a lot of viewers. So
I agree.
Yeah, tirelessly promoting Windsor day or night, man.
Exactly. So we are all promoting Windsor. Again, it's good for all of us because it's good for all the Windsorites. Yeah. Because when more people moving in, it's a demand and supply.
Yeah, good for everybody.
Economy is getting better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean we're joking about it, but I think the truth is that a couple of years ago, if you're from Toronto, Windsor was the stay away market. Let's not go there because it's an automotive town. It's a blue collar town. The real estate has been going like this, if not down, right?
Yeah.
But we've seen with the immigration that's happening in Canada as a whole, not just Windsor or Toronto, but Canada as a whole, we've seen a lot of new immigrants coming over here. I think one of the things that we need to mention in this slide, Aditya, for the next month is that the fact that we have a population increase in Windsor about 5%. And that's been going on for the last 5 years. Okay, 5% sounds small, but if you talk about, on average, Canada is importing. I want to say importing. We have around 350,000 people coming into Canada every year. Okay, and you take 5% of that, that's a lot of people. That's 15, almost 20,000 people come into Windsor. Where are these people going to stay? Where are these people going to stay? Right?
There's not rental property.
Yeah, hopefully in your rental property, hopefully in your legal second suite, right? But they need to buy. They need to buy. And when they are buying, when they want to buy and something comes up on the market, right? They're willing to pay whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of factors that bring these prices up and what these are. And then of course, again, as if you're living in Toronto and you are getting priced out of the market in that area, where are you going to go? You're going to go the secondary markets. If you talk about Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, Barrie, Ottawa, Oshawa, not so much Ottawa, but Oshawa, Whitby, all this, all these areas, even north, if you go to cottage country, all these secondary markets are completely out of price too. And now most people from Toronto area are going to the tertiary markets. So we talk about London, Ontario, Windsor, Ottawa, and all these other places which are far from downtown core, but they provide cash flowing property. And that's the reason why you see those numbers, guys. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just add another point to it. Another thing that the big shift that I've been noticing because of this COVID, a lot of companies started to allow employees to work from home permanently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's another big reason why even first-time homebuyers, moving to smaller cities like Windsor. So that's a good sign that that is increasing the population here. So moving on to the neighborhood specific numbers.
Yeah.
Savio, if you don't mind. Okay, so West Windsor. If you're not totally aware of West Windsor, first of all, West Windsor actually have specific pockets. One, it's just off of bridge where you see the main bridge between US and Canada. Just off of that, off of Huron Church Street till Ogive Way, the line you see that is like end of 401. close by there. So that whole pocket is West Windsor. It has Sandwich Town, which is one of the oldest town in Windsor. That was like really bad few years ago. Now you can see a lot of immigrants, a lot of international students. And the second is Malden area where Malden Park is. That's like a nice family neighborhood where you can find nice bungalows that are like close to 300 to 350 price point. So you have two different pockets there. If you're looking at sorry about the disruption there.
Okay.
If you're looking at West Windsor, those are the two pockets that you're majorly looking. So if you go into the numbers, let's start from September. So number of days to sell pretty much still like pretty low, which is 16 days. Literally properties are not saying much longer in West Windsor. And average listing price, obviously, let's look at the sale price and then look at the listing price. So the sale price is higher than the listing price, which means still bidding wars are going in that area. So the sale price is 265,735. And number of new listings is 24 and number of sales is 20. That means still inventory is left over in West Windsor. So still there is some properties staying on the market for a little longer. But
what's
overall,
wrong with those? What's wrong with those?
I mean, so good question. What's wrong? One of the reasons Sandwich Town actually became a lot popular is because of the university.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, because of the COVID, a lot of students actually, first of all, the student inflow stopped. Second of all, even the students who are in Toronto, Windsor, they're moving to Toronto because now they can study from virtually and they can, work part-time jobs, especially international students. If they're local students, they're going to stay with their parents so they can save some money and all those things. So that's one of the reasons why the vacancy rate is high in student rental area. So that's no arguable point. You have vacancy rate in that area, but the thing is you also can get decent price compared to other parts of the Windsor.
I say it's an opportunity. I say there's an opportunity. And,
exactly.
And the reason why I say that is that because, we all know, I mean, each one of us can talk about it for hours, that there's no way that, the University of Windsor or St. Clair College is going to keep their courses online, right? The city of those institutions financially are dependent on international students. They're dependent on them, right? The city of Windsor are dependent on these students coming in over here and staying in the city of Windsor, because not only are they spending money for the tuition, they need places to stay, so they're paying rent. They got to pay their bills, right? So they're adding to the economy. They got to buy food to eat. They're going out and eating in restaurants and coffee shops and whatnot. A lot of these students are actually working in the Walmarts or in the Home Depots and where, all the other grocery stores and whatnot, so they are adding valuable input into the economy. So there's no way, we know that for a fact, that coming 2021, and God forbid, unless something really happens with COVID, right? God forbid, these guys are coming back. So the opportunity is the fact that, listen, there are 4 houses on the market, still on the market, right? Probably student rentals, as Aditya said. Why don't you get these houses right now? They probably need a lot of work anyways. Why don't you get these houses right now and do the work in the next couple of months? So come January, February, when school starts opening up again and students come back, you got a ready-made product to go. Why didn't you think about that, right? Because always, student rentals in Sandwich area, a little beat up. Let's be honest about it, right? They're a little bit beat up. Sandwich properties are a little bit beat up. They're older homes. They need updates and so on and so forth. But this, for me, is probably one of the neighborhoods, one of the still remaining cheap neighborhoods in Windsor. Okay, you're not gonna, as we move through these slides, you're not gonna find houses for 265 guys. All right. So if you want to know more information about Sandwich, talk to these 3 guys over here. Okay, we're gonna put their information up on the chat room right after the conversation. So you can get in touch with them and find out what these 4 properties are about. Okay. Yeah,
great point, Sav. Great point. It's an opportunity for someone who can have some savings so that they can hold the property while they're running, and it's now you're making equity right away. So that's once the demand goes up again, your property value will go up over the time. and you'll increase in terms of cash flow. So that's really good point. So what are the strategies that a lot of people ask me, what are the strategies work in this neighborhoods? So one, you can find a lot of cash flowing properties. Two, you can do the bird strategies like you just mentioned, and flips. That's another thing. If you buy a property now, run down 200, 250, 220, do some upgrades by the time the students come up. And when the demand is back again, sell it for profit.
Okay. Before we move on, Adil, I want to ask you any comments on this. I know you're jumping in your seat there. I think you want to say something. So.
No, absolutely. I agree because that's the West End's one of the undervalued neighborhoods in the city right now, especially when the university is close. In fact, we have a couple properties there too right now. But we all let investors know, they know this is the storm. It's going to pass. It's going to go because they bought it at the good time, good price. They can hold this property. They can hold it for empty for next 3 months, 6 months, no problem. But once soon as it starts, school's coming back, I heard a lot of international students say 29th of October, the border will be open. So a lot of students will come back. Even though they're going to do online courses, they're going to still need to rent these places. They're going to rent the rooms to study their courses from these areas. So a lot of students coming from Toronto, London, or other places where they can have more, affordable place to cut their costs. So demand is going to be there for sure. It's going to be. This is just a temporarily setback, slow down. But if you're a really long-term investor, this is the opportunity right now. You can get really, really good properties for a very good price right now. Just negotiate it. You can get a good one.
While you say that, I'm just thinking about something else because we're talking about students, guys. Listen, there's the new bridge coming up in Sandwich, Gordie Howe Bridge, right? So if you think about it, if you have a home that has maybe 5 or 6 bedrooms, your target market should be actually the bridge workers. We're talking about not the blue collar workers, but the white collar workers, the architects, the engineers, the designers, the management people, because they're coming in groups and they want nice places to stay in. They don't want to go stay in a hotel. They want a place like this, right?
Companies paying for it on contract. Companies paying.
Exactly. Companies are paying for it. They're paying Airbnb rates so they can have all their buddies together, and it's still cheaper for them, right? If they have to rent individual bedrooms, right? So think about that as well. Okay. We're already half an hour in.
Yeah, so that's a great point. For bridge laborers and all those things, actually, right now I have a property 4-plex in West Windsor that is for sale. That is making 7,500 fully rented. Half of the tenants are working for this bridge, different companies, and some of them are ODSP. So very good point. Yeah.
Aditya, is that a deal that you're just presenting, or is that yours? Are you selling that?
My listing. It's my listing.
It's your listing. So come on, guys, put that listing up on the chat group there. If anybody heard that.
I'm gonna put that in there. It's
7,500. Oh my God.
7,500 income. It's making fully rented.
How much?
490.
Go to the listing.
Sorry, 950.
950. 1
of
million.
course, it's 14 bedrooms, 6 bath, nicely updated and all those things, like turnkey.
Cheap apartment building you buy yourself.
It is apartment like you have big.
There you go.
How can you finance that though? The banks are cracking down on the finance.
Good question. You can buy it as a residential property.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you need financing, you got to talk to Aditya. He has somebody in his pocket.
Because pretty much my client got it 2 years ago with the same, with the residential RBC. Actually, he got it even as a first-time home buyer with 10% down.
Okay, that's another conversation, guys.
So
Let's keep that for later.
Yeah, that's
just before, Aditya, before you get into the downtown area, I just want to say thanks to Jeremy. You're answering a lot of questions on the chat group live. So thank you, Jeremy. Guys, if you have any questions that you are not answered so far, we got to take it at the end of the chat, all right? So for everybody else, I mean, Adil and Jeremy, while you're not on the mic, if you can answer those questions, that'll be awesome. Okay? All right, let's move. Okay. Downtown.
So downtown, this is pretty much a nice up and coming location. Guys, if you haven't seen the news that someone is building, actually they proposed 1,400 new condo units in downtown area. So that's still on the planning phase, not approved or anything, nothing firm, but that's a sign showing that city is giving away a lot of grants for someone who want to redevelop or build for example, agent in my team, Clerk, he's building a tiny home. He's getting like 25,000 something grants to do that, like in terms of tax rebates and all those things. So city is pushing a lot to improve the downtown by giving a lot of grants. So just FYI, great place. So what's in downtown? Casino, St. Clair College downtown campus, University downtown campus. Actually, University is also considered as a downtown area, the zone 2 in terms of real estate, but it's more like on the west side. One of the up and coming location, I would say. Lots of redevelopments happening. Like they recently on Crawford and Wyandotte built 100 units, rental units, and a lot of new developments here and there. All over you'll see a lot of improvements happening. A lot of potential for people who want to do burst strategies, people who want to have a good cash flow, great opportunity. So going into the numbers, again, September, number of days to sell, 22 days. So that means it's taking a little longer in that area. And the listing price is 248,567. And the sell price is 254,000. So that means it's not that crazy bidding war. And number of new listings, 64, and get this guys, number of sales is 37. That means, again, that one of the major reason the university area comes under this area, downtown, the zoning. So that's one of the reason why you see that drastic drop. So that means property is staying a little longer in that area. So that means that's an opportunity for investor to tap on.
Okay, I gotta add my comment over here. Listen, honestly speaking, I mean, and this is one man's opinion, downtown is the shitty part of Windsor, right? From a house point of view, okay? But you get the question all the time, right? Sav, I'm a newbie investor. I don't have that much money. Where do I start? This is the place to start, okay? What you don't see over here is the appreciation. And my question to you guys is that, can we get the appreciation rates per zone, like we had for whole of Windsor? Can we break that down by zone for our next presentation, or no? Is that not possible?
I think we can try. Yes, I think we can try. I'm not 100% sure. But here's the thing, a simple fund, if the whole Windsor is appreciating downtown areas, so that you're looking at right now, the average sale price is 250, right? Just 2 years ago, I bought a duplex for 168,000. There
you go. So you just vetted my point, right? So if you're starting off and you have a little bit of money, think about 5%, guys. 5% of 250 is what? My math is not great. Today, 10% is 25, so 12,500 is your down payment. If you're a first-time home buyer, right, in the downtown area, that's appreciating 30%. You can sell that thing next year.
And if you keep it clean, you'll get a good tenant.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
my first 2 properties. You have a really great point, Savio. My first 2 properties are in downtown. I lived in that area. It's a shitty place to look around and all those things, But if your purpose is to get started, to have a low cost of entry, have a good cash flow, then that's the place.
It's a gold mine, man. Downtown's gold mine. Those properties 4 or 5 years ago, 80,000, 90,000, they were selling that single family.
Yep.
On
there you go.
AB, Moy, all the streets. Now you cannot buy anything less than 200, 250.
Yep.
Hey, Adil, your mic is kind of echoing. I don't know if you have 2 speakers on. If you're on the Facebook group on your phone, you can turn that volume down. Jeremy's work in the chat group. Jeremy, you don't even need to talk, man. You're like the most famous guy so far over here.
So as for downtown, if you guys are wondering, I'm bullish on downtown. In the last 3 months, have purchased 2 properties downtown, 4 total, and half of my properties I've purchased have been downtown. Lots of, the tenant quality, as everyone was mentioning, is not the greatest. But if you look at any major city, take a look at Detroit. Sav will tell you about Detroit. Detroit 10 years ago, Sav, what was the quality of it? It wasn't as good as it was today, right?
Oh,
Detroit,
hell no. Yeah.
The downtowns go through cycles. Could be a 5-year cycle, could be a 10-year cycle. Look at Toronto. Every 10 or so years, it goes up, it goes down, right? We've experienced about 10 shitty years of downtown Windsor, and now we're starting to see some money coming in. And you guys, this is from me having conversations and networking. There is some big fish circling downtown. And did you just mention some condos? That's just the start of it. There's a lot of people coming with a lot of big pockets from Toronto and internationally investing in the downtown core. I was able to get that information, and I am bullish on downtown. Regardless of whatever happens, people talking about the market going to crash and stuff like that. It is what it is. You buy properly. Downtown is one of my top blocks right now, and I will continue to be buying downtown if I can get the deals.
Jeez, like, look, you guys are
Yeah.
just freaking going crazy downtown, man. I'm not even touching downtown. I'm way behind the game. Wow. All right, cool. I got some information out of that. Okay, guys, if you see the map here on Windsor, we've kind of split it up into the different zones, right? This is how we when we talk about Windsor and the neighborhoods in Windsor, that's the zone. So if you hear or if you know which zone you're in, then you can apply that information to yourself, or you want to know about each zone. That's what we're talking about right now. So now we're going to move into zone 3 and 7, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremy, is that you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me put that up. And while I'm doing that, there's a lot of questions, guys, which we're getting on the chat group there. So if you can, please answer those questions. And guys who are asking the questions and following live, if you don't mind, keep the questions relevant. Okay, today we're talking about Windsor market and what's happening in the Windsor market. So keep it relevant to the Windsor market and real estate in Windsor. I know you're asking various questions about, legal second suites and just general information. We appreciate that. Let's do that another time. If you want, you can send each one of us a private message or a DM link, and take an hour of our time if we have it, and we can talk about those things separately. Okay, really appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about zone 3, Jeremy?
Yes, sir. So this right here would be South Walkerview, zone 7.
Okay.
So basically zone 7 consists of South Walkerville, Remington Park, Fountain Blue, kind of just put the 3 biggest areas around there. So you'll kind of see this be, this is an interesting spot right here because basically South Walkerville, everyone hears about Walkerville, and what some people might know, especially the newbies, is Walkerville is split into 2 areas. You have Old Walkerville or Walkerville itself, and then you have what's called South Walkerville, which is more of a an upper class area. So you'll find it's basically just off a Kildare there's a hospital. So basically one of those things is a good spot for renting out to nurses. And you find that they're more a mix between some bigger houses there and some smaller ones, but the prices are definitely different than the old Walkerville, which we'll talk about shortly there. To give you an idea right here, so January we had the average days sell was about 25, which is quite high, I find, but list price being $272,092, sale price $303. So we're seeing about a $30,000 approximate list to sell price, 27 new listings, 21 sales. So once again, you can kind of see right here, even though we have more new listings than sales, it's so close that we are in a seller's market in this area. February average days on market is 10, March, same thing, 10 right there. So with February, we had 273, March 275, and then once again with the sale prices being 314. And then when you see what happened with March there, what it could be is just basically maybe some cheaper properties because there is a larger mix of properties there. And also the start of COVID, right? I mean, some people started holding off around that time as well. But once again, in March, we had 53 new listings and 28 sales. So you started to see that slowdown right around there where people were wondering what was going on with COVID. We did notice a bit of a slowdown for about 2 or 3 weeks. That carried into April as well, but towards the end of April, we really picked it up. As you can see with the numbers, they were kind of on the lower end as well, at being at 283 and then a 289 sale price. And then basically the May one was just surprising, being at 302,986, and then a sale price of 287, 759. Once again, we have different areas in each area. Kind of, you might have more properties listing in, for example, Remington Park, which is a great area to be as a first-time home buyer or an investor looking to buy a single-family house. Remington Park is just off of, basically just off of Howard Road there, and it's right next to the EC Row. It's basically minutes away from shopping. You got the mall around the corner there. You have the Howard area, the LCBO, lots of restaurants in that particular area. It's a great spot. You can definitely get in there for low 200s. Actually, I just did a full flip and never even hit the market. It was a duplex that sold for $360. But basically, that's a great area to kind of get into. South Walkerville, as a rental area, I don't think it's a great option. The reason being, unless you're looking to get a higher end house, the numbers to purchase, you're really looking to get just over 300,000. And to get a 3-bedroom, you're rented out for the same price you can buy something cheaper in Old Walkerville for. Fountain Blue, which is an interesting area. Fountain Blue, I don't have a map in front of me here. I don't know if we could pull that up or not, but basically it's just west of Forest Lake. It's a nice little area, a mix of some newer style of homes. Usually get kind of the back splits and side splits there, but houses from the last maybe 40 or so years. And then obviously kind of go